So how's life different with number 10 back out there?
It's a lot better. It's a lot better. You know, first of all, emotionally, it made me emotional to have him even back, because I have watched. If you remember, he got hurt, what, January 17th or something? January 17th. He hadn't played basketball games since January 17th. Just think about that. Of a guy that was projected as a possible draft choice. Just think about what he's been through. And then I've watched him. His work ethic is beyond belief. And so when you see a guy do that, and you see a sacrifice, an emotional sacrifice, and you know, emotional pain and physical pain and all the things, and then finally, he gets to play. For me, you know, it's emotional. But for our team, forget his statistics, which, by the way, he played way better than I would have expected. I thought he'd be way rustier and, you know, a little bit out of rhythm. But man, he played like a veteran, and he didn't hardly miss a beat. But he just helps our team in so many ways, whether he's putting up numbers or not. He's just such a great leader. He understands. He's our, like, 100 times our most experienced player here, understanding our system and our culture and our principles and all those things. So I just can't even tell you how important it is to all of us.
How emotional was he? Was he more emotional than you?
No, I don't know. I think I was probably more emotional than him, I think. You'd have to ask him, but yeah, he probably was. We might have been tied for first. I don't know, but I probably need to ask him that. But I know he was excited to play. I know he was very excited. So he might have beat me out, actually, now that I think about it.
What does he do that makes everyone else on the court so much better?
First of all, he plays. He's a winner. He's a real winner. He's been a winner his whole life, and he understands what playing like a winner is. And playing like a winner is playing completely unselfishly, always talking to your teammate, always making the extra pass, play, block out, rotation. He's advanced. He's just so advanced, and his teams always have a chance. He's a giver, and if you can have a whole team with that mindset, you have a chance to be great. That was the team we had a couple of years ago. That was the team we had. We had that going last year until everybody got hurt, where everybody's going to sacrifice for one another, but there's also a high level of understanding. He's got a high IQ, a high competitive motor, and he's a winner. And you know, having that is contagious. I think it calms our players. I think they get another sense of confidence when he's on the floor.
Between you and Jarrey and the training staff, who had the toughest night in terms of managing his minutes?
I had a pretty easy time. It was a plan ahead of time with Warren, Warren is sensational, by the way. Warren Young, there can't be a better trainer in America. His ability, knowledge, but his heart and work ethic, they've worked together so long and hard. But you know, we had a plan that was good for everybody, and that was about to play, you know, 15 to 20 minutes. I was hoping to stretch to 20. I think probably some were hoping to stretch to 15, but you know, during the game, basically, I just, you know, we had the plan, we stuck to the plan. It wasn't that hard. It was smart on their part, I think. And I think as we go along, slowly, maybe we can inch forward and get him to where we're not concerned about, you know, any other player, where you're just playing, you know. And so maybe that'll come soon.
Jamal's never really been a big assist guy, but tonight he had 9.
So proud, so proud. And I didn't know if I would live to see that day, and I don't mean that negatively because he's such a scorer, but I know there had to be somebody that missed a shot that could have got him double-double. I don't know who it is, and I don't want to place blame, but gosh darn, he got 9, you know. I'm so happy. I mean, that's a big deal because it shows that he can, you know, find people. And by the way, Jimmy, who was sensational last game, right, sensational. Somebody might go, gosh, he didn't look at all like, well, he got the Mexican flu, guys, and he's had a rough last couple days. So that was a guy just trying to fight through and give us minutes, and I take my hat off to him. But that put Jamal more in a point guard mode, of course, and so that's another real positive asset or weapon that he can, you know, see and make plays from the point guard position, so I'm really happy about that. Jimmy's shown that he can do that. Jarrey certainly can do that. Have a good assist night. You know, if you can feel the game, you see the game, and you can make the right pass on time. 9 assists is you can hardly luck into that. So really great on his part. Glad to see Isaiah. You know, he's kind of getting his confidence offensively. You know, looking more like himself, and I know that's so important to him. He tries so hard every day in practice, and you know, he's a guy that's really cut in to try to do what we're doing. So very happy for him as well.
As a team, you guys had 23 assists. What'd you think of your guys' ball movement?
Great. That was great. It's just, and I'll go back. You know, it's getting better. It's not where it can still be, but we obviously the last couple games have looked much better offensively than we did early in the season. And I say this again, and I like saying it better after we win because it doesn't sound like an excuse. It sounds like I'm telling you the truth of the story, but this is a team that's behind because of our probation numbers and our injuries. We even have 2 walk-ons that are hurt, if you can believe that. You can't make this up, okay? You can't make it up. So we have not, you get 6 weeks to practice before your first game, and honestly, I think we played 5-on-5 7 times, maybe. You can't look good offensively. You can't put your defensive principles together unless you play a lot of 5-on-5, particularly when you're meshing a bunch of new guys together. And so we are still behind, gaining on it. We got to play 2 days of 5-on-5 lately. Jarrey's back, you know, and so now we're right there. But we have to make up ground. It's not easy to do because other teams that are ahead of you, they're trying to get better too. So it's not like they're just going to stay stagnant. We have to be accelerating improvement faster than they are, and that is not easy to do. But I do think that we're at least headed in a direction where we can start executing offense. The ball can move. We can make plays for others. We can have some nights where we have a lot of assists, which is important to me. And so hopefully that's the direction we're going.
How long has Jarrey been practicing prior to tonight, and what were you and Warren looking for as far as his ability to move and cut and jump and signs of fatigue and pain management and that kind of thing?
I think that the whole minutes, the control on the minutes was all about fatigue. We just don't want him to get, you know, let's make sure, it's very strong, but you know, when you get really tired, your muscles get tired, they're not very strong. So we want to make sure we don't overtax it, but you know, he's been inching into it. I forget the exact date when he started, you know, shooting, and then 5-on-0, anything we would do 5-on-0, or then it was all of a sudden some of our skill work, okay, some footwork and skill work, and the next thing you know, he's in some controlled defensive stuff. We do a drill called shell, and it's pretty controlled, but you go hard, but you already know the movements. And so he's been inching along for a while, but as far as just playing, like to say, look, you're in now, it hadn't been that long. I'm not exactly sure how many days it's been, but not that many, but he's been practicing hard, and then we just kept increasing the minutes of those practices, you know, how long he could go, and he'd kind of sub out, and Warren would get him out when he felt like he, you know, could see that he was tiring a little bit.
He did an interview after, I don't know if it was his freshman or sophomore year, when he had a really good defensive game, and he told us that he wanted to be the best defender in the country. What do you think about him on the defensive end tonight?
For a guy that hadn't played in a game, going full speed, I thought he was really good. I think he is a great defender. First of all, incredible athlete, incredible strength, bounce, quickness, balance, all those things, but also very high IQ, very bright, understands principles, positioning, just so many things ahead of time. And he also knows that it's one of the avenues to get him to the next level. I mean, you know, he takes a lot of pride in it because we've tried to explain that, you know, a lot of guys out there think they're going to shoot their way to the NBA. And that is not the case. The NBA, you know, people, the next level, the first question we get asked so many times about our guys that have been, you know, they've been drafted or whatever is, you know, can they guard in the league? How many positions can they guard in the league? And I tell our guys that, you guys need to understand, they don't care if you take 29 shots. They care, can you guard your position? And you're going to be a role player. You're not going to be, you know, walk in as an NBA All-Star. So the defensive end is critical, and I think Jarrey is a high-level defender, and we will be counting on him to be when he really gets, you know, his legs under him and get the rust off. He's going to be guarding a lot of the best players that we play against.
When you look at a stat sheet, whether it's a win or a loss, how does the level of competition affect your assessment of how your guys did?
It does. It always does. It's hard to always, you know, to know for sure. It's a great question. You know, some teams that maybe aren't as highly thought of or as big of a name can sometimes be hard to play against. Maybe they're undersized, or they got a bunch of little quick shooters, or they got an undersized post that's a little bit harder to guard than others. At the same time, of course, you know, all things being equal, some of the teams that are higher level sometimes are much harder to stop. So I guess I always try to, you know, do the best I can at figuring out, okay, how real is this? How much will it stand up in our league? And I do the best job I can at assessing that. I know this, as I said, we're still behind, you know, on both sides. We're not where we need to be offensively to be outstanding in our league yet. We're not where we need to be defensively to do that. But I am more concerned first you got to be able to guard and rebound. First you got to be able to guard and rebound at a high level, or you're just banking on warm shooting nights, which they don't come every night. And so that's my major concern. I'm thrilled that we held them in the 30s. It's always our goal. We have been poor at doing that, which shows you that we're not where we need to be defensively. We went to Mexico and we gave up 50%, for gosh sakes. I mean, you can't ever live. You cannot live with those kind of numbers. So that's what I look at first. That's what I care about the most. Always has been, always will be, because those things can stand up no matter where you play, no matter who you play. If you're good defensively, you can do it every night. Rebounding the same.